Hello Game Hunters, Neilus here with another speed build, and today we are taking a look at the Tyrant, the one and only Emperor. This is the Frieza in his final form. I decided to do this one today because most of the characters we've done so far are human-like. We did Vegeta, Goku, Android 18, Trunks, Broly. We also did Bulma and her motorcycle, and Piccolo. Piccolo is one exception, but I wanted to try my hands at Frieza today and see what we can do with it. What I neglected to mention in most of the other speed build videos is that there is a little bit of info on the side of the box, which is quite interesting. It's like a Pokédex entry, and for Frieza it says, aided by Zarbon, the Doria, and the Ginyu Force, Frieza and his mighty army took control of planets far and wide in a lucrative empire-building campaign of space trade. Frieza eventually attacked planet Namek in hopes of attaining eternal life through the power of the Dragon Balls. With his ruthless demeanor and extraordinary fighting abilities, the evil Emperor Frieza holds the universe in the grip of fear. Frieza's power explodes into new realms of magnitude every time he transforms. Sadly, this is the only form of Frieza you can get in the build kits. There is also the first form of Frieza, like he's introduced in the anime series, that comes with his hover pod. Anyway, let's take a look at the box before we get into this build kit. First off, we have the bottom here with the various poses. I like that they put this one in when he was fighting Goku without using his arms. And then we have the top of the box where the information that I just read is displayed. And of course the warnings and choking hazard stuff, information like that. Then we have the side of the box where we have the model as usual, and then the other side of the box that displays the 3D version of the model as usual. Anyway, I'm pretty excited for this one, so let's get right into it.
伝えずにやめ風はいつか欺瞞に動かすと夢を持った今Extreme like as dragons完璧なる光の願い叶う時
And that is Final Form Frieza finally finished. Try saying that 10 times in a row. Anyway, I like Frieza's design. He is very simplistic, almost as if he were a Pokemon. Wait. I'm sorry about that. That's the wrong one. I wish he could stand without using his tail, but then I would have to use the stand, and those stands are feeble as heck. I will keep saying that in every fucking video, but these stands are trash. They're useless. Anyway, this stand has a little extra piece. You can shove that in between his butt and his tail, so you can hold him on there. And then the death ball has a little stand as well. You can click that on his arm and then point his arm up, and it'll look like he's charging the death ball. We also have the death beam, and it's a little bit flexible, so I like that, so it doesn't break easily. Unless, of course, if I'm gonna bend it all the way over, it's probably gonna break. But I like it, like if I let it fall or something like that, it won't break in half. I like that. You just pop that on his finger and it'll look like he's doing the death beam. We have 2 sets of hands plus the finger pointing hand, and we have 2 faces. He has 2 entire heads. I like that. Most of the characters, they just have the faces. Frieza has 2 entire heads, so you can just pop that one off and pop this one on in its stead. I did not have many complications with this build. The only thing that annoyed me was his right arm here. If I try to pose it, it comes apart. So I have to put it back together every single time I want to pose his arms. I always do some testing with these figures to test their limits and how easily they pose. Like, I would turn around all the body parts and see how far they would go before they snap off, like that. Not too many problems. He's very poseable, especially this one. This is one of the most poseable ones yet. But you do have to check the creases sometimes if they don't come apart. The tail comes in and you can push it all the way up to his butt so it stays there. Or you can pull it out and put that extra thing in, like I said. But yeah, this arm is the most annoying part about it. It's not that bad. I can just push it and it'll stick back together. He's very, very poseable. He has many loose parts. His chest moves a lot more than most of the characters, as you can see on the side here. He comes apart really easily though. Probably because all of his parts are very small compared to the other ones. And he might actually be the smallest character that I've done yet. I think the one before that was Android 18. Let's bring her here. She was the smallest before Frieza, and she might be a little bit off the ground, but you can see she's still at least a head taller than Frieza. And if we compare him to Goku, you can see how small he really is. He reaches about his chest. So yeah, he's very tiny. And I think the smallest one after that might be Krillin or Kid Buu. But until then, this Frieza will be the smallest one. He did have many, many, many very tiny parts. I'm surprised I didn't have more trouble putting him together. He was one of the fastest, I think, that I've put together. Even the stickers, his toenails, they're the smallest stickers I had to put on so far, and I had absolutely no problems doing it. And again, yeah, he's very poseable. He has a double jointed knee, so you can bend his bottom part of the leg, his shin, and the top part of his leg as well if you want, so like that. The only one before that has these double jointed knees was 18. The other ones all have a single jointed knee, and his arms also have a double jointed elbow, so you can do this and then you can do that as well. That's very neat. The only problem I have with these double jointed ones is that you can't really turn his forearm. But yeah, you can just do that and it's no problem at all. I think this model might actually be my favorite so far. Oh yeah, and the neck also, if you want to turn his head, it is kind of annoying. His throat turns with it, so you have to hold his throat if you want to turn his head, because otherwise it's gonna get stuck. See, if you turn his head again, his throat is stuck, so you have to kind of mess around with it a bit but it's not much of an issue. And he's very posable. He moves around a lot more than the other characters. I like that. So you can do a lot more with this character than with the other ones. So far, I'm gonna say this Frieza is my favorite model. There's not too many hands or props, but also not an issue because of the posability of the figure. His expressions are really neat. I like the smug face on this one and then the smug smile on that one. Anyway, that's it for Frieza. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already, hit that notification bell, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, bye. Final form Frieza finally finished. 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 And so on. Shit.